Hello, what's up, everybody? Hoping you're doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you're watching me. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning viewer, feel welcomed always. My name is Terry Joy, an overseas nurse currently working in the United Kingdom. Today, we are going to be discussing about renting a house in the UK. Oh my goodness. Renting a house in the UK can be very hectic, especially for a new immigrant or rather for someone who wants to bring her family to the UK. It's quite difficult, quite hard, to get that house. It can actually take months just to get a house to rent in the UK. So maybe I think first things first. The first thing, if you want to rent a house in the UK, you should download. I'll talk about 3 apps that you should at least download that will be very helpful. The first one and the mostly used one is the Rightmove. We have Rightmove. Secondly, we have Zoopla. And thirdly, we have On the Market. We have other people who use Facebook, but I would highly recommend Rightmove, Zoopla, and On the Market. If you download the 3 apps, you can now start looking for the house on the search button. Okay, for instance, if you're using Rightmove, you downloaded Rightmove, and now you want to start searching for a house, you go to the searching part and put the postal code of the area where you want to maybe settle or rather rent your house, depending with maybe your workplace or the distance between where you work and how far you want to travel. You want to consider so many things before you put your postal code. Number one, if you have children, you have to check the distance between the school where your kids will be going to school and the distance between where you're working, or rather maybe where your spouse is working, where your friends are, accessibility to markets, accessibility to different maybe um, places of interest. It could be accessibility to the churches and accessibility to maybe the shops. We have different shops. We have African food shops, we have Chinese food shops, we have Mexican food shop, depending with where you want. So the first thing is just know where you want to rent that house. So if you want to rent a house on a certain place, so you just put on the postal code to that address, and then once you put the postal code and press the search button, you're going to get the houses that are within that place. So you get different houses with different prices. So another thing I would highly recommend when you're searching for your house on the app is put the price range of the house that you want. If maybe you want a house ranging from 500 to 700 pounds, just put it there and you're going to get the house that will range from 700 to 500 to 700 if the house is available. If you want a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, depending on the number of bedrooms that you want as well, just select that part. That maybe if you want more than 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, depending on what you want. So once you put all that, just click the search button and you will get the different houses with the prices that you can get.
Meanwhile,
So the next thing you also check is the availability date. If you want to move a house maybe within 1 week, you need to also check 1 week is quite not easy. You cannot find a house like right now and then move in the next 1 week. It's close to impossible because there are so many things that the agency needs to do. So once you get there, is you should check the letting details. How or when is the house available? How much deposit do I need for that house? Is it long term or short term contract for the house? Is it furnished or not furnished? Like, does it have stuff in the house, or what does it have? Also, you need to check the council tax. The council tax is the amount of money you pay every month, which helps maybe the government. For instance, um, this will depend with the number of people as well who are living in that house. You need to pay every month for that amount of money, the amount of money. So you need to check you should check the band, that is the house band, the house council tax band of the house, but that will be told to you by the agency will tell you about it. So once you check all those things and now you're like, oh, I like this house, where do you start? You need to book an appointment date. You know, back home when you find that, you go asking people, can I see this house please, blah 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 blah, it's quite easy. But here in the UK, you have to book an appointment to go and view that house. So get to your phone, book the date and the time when you want to go and view that house. It also depends with, there are so many people definitely who have seen this house, so they are also checking and booking for that date. So I would advise people to maybe look for different houses, not just one house, because you never know. You might go the like 10 people and only one person will be given that house. That's why I always advise people is try and book so many houses as much as possible, so that when you get an appointment date, you just book different appointment dates and you might be lucky to get one of the houses. So after booking the appointment date, the day is here, you go there, view the house, check it out, see whether you maybe like it, depending on what you saw on the picture, what you wanted from that house. Maybe you wanted a spacious lounge, maybe you wanted a spacious bathroom, a spacious kitchen. Go check all that in that house. And from there, you're just going to be told that we are going to give you feedback. We are going to email you. Go home and wait for an email. If you find the house, if for instance they are okay for you to let the house, they'll tell you, oh, now you need to give us some deposit. Most agents will email you and tell you, oh, we need to, oh, that's fine, we are thinking of giving you the house, but we have to do some checks and you have to pay a certain holding deposit. If the house deposit was about £2,000, you don't have to pay the £2,000 deposit at that point. They might ask you maybe to pay £300 at that point. That is the holding deposit, which is, in most cases, it's refundable, or it will also be counted in the money that you're going. If you're to pay £2,000 for the deposit and they tell you to give a holding fee of £300, so these £300 will be inclusive of the 2,000. So the balance will be 1,700. From there, they have told you got the house and you're there happy. Don't be happy yet. Okay, well, it shows there's some light, but in this case, the checks begin. What checks? They have to check whether you're capable of paying for this house. They have to check the number of people who will be living in this house. And in this instance, they have to check based on your employer. Your employer must reference you. Another person who must reference you is the garant. You need a guarantor in this case. If maybe, for instance, like if you've not been working for so long and maybe your company is not able to give enough report about you, you might need a guarantor. But we have other companies where they are so helpful. They'll just write a letter to them and tell them that, yeah, this person works with us, we are happy to let a house for them. And if you're from overseas, you also need a certain code that is to share with the agency that is called the right to let in the UK, or rather right to rent in the UK. This is found in the government gov.uk website. So they're going to direct you on how to get it, and you're going to share with them. So think about all these checks. That's why I told you, if you want a house, you have to book earlier. You have to book early enough so that you can be able to have that grace period of all these things happening, search, guarantors. Some people might, for instance, you might send an email, they might send an email, the agency, to your employer. And once they send the email, what will happen? Maybe the employer has not seen it for 2 days, or maybe the employer is not in the office for 2 days. So it will prolong your wait. For some people, they also get disadvantaged because in this moment you're looking for this house, you also need to pay rent for the previous house that you've been. It's quite hard because you have to pay rent on this side as you wait to pay another rent to the other house. So you will pay 2 times. So generally, all that is what you need. And once all these checks have been done, you pay the deposit, you now pay the rent, deposit plus minus rent. So you pay the rent and the deposit, all that amount of money, and then the company will send you your contract, whereby you need to sign the contract, read the contract, and once you sign the contract, you just know you're a new, not owner of the house, but you're a new tenant to that house. It's quite hard, but at the end of the day, you want a house. You want maybe your family to come from overseas. You want to go to a new place that is close to your workplace, close to your children's school. So considering all those factors, it's not that, it's something that you have to do, whether you like it, or not, because those are the policies in the UK. Well, thank you for watching my video. Hoping it has benefited you in one way or another. It has also given you a know-how, or rather an insight. Thank you for watching. Continue subscribing to my YouTube channel, please. Liking my videos, commenting down below. Till next time, bye!